He said that to me too. Oh man. Oh, we're live. Sorry.
We are live.
Oh man.
We are live. It is the Academy Sports Show. I told you that you should hit that bell. That way you get a notification every time we go live. I just got mine. You should get your notification right now as well. But hit that bell, man. Hit that bell. Go to YouTube. Find our faces, subscribe to our faces. But the most effective thing you can do is trigger that bell to get a notification every time we go live. It may be 7. It may be 7:15. It may be 7:19. But it wouldn't matter if you would just trigger the bell.
Hey,
Welcome to another episode of the Academy Sports Show. We appreciate you as always. Every Monday, we are here to talk about your favorite sports topics. If you want to get in contact with myself or Joel, make sure you hit us up. You see the tags down below at Dre_on-air or at JWill02. Let us know how you feel about the show. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us, and then make sure. Yeah, I'm echoing on your side, Joel, so you might want to turn your computer down. I think. That help? Yep. I think so. I don't hear myself anymore.
Today you hear yourself, next week you don't. Maybe it's the microphone selection. I don't know.
Either way, man, make sure you follow us, man. And then if you see something you like, make sure you share us. If you're watching us on Facebook right now on Joel's feed, share to your feed. Tag your favorite sports friends. Let them know how you feel about the topics coming up. If you're on YouTube, make sure you share. Text us out to your friends. Text us out to your chat groups. Let us know. The more people, the more comments, the more perspectives. We got a great show lined up for you today. My man will get that to you. I'm your host, Andre Douglas, and across from me is your host, Joel Williams.
What up, everybody, man? Welcome to the show. Man. You heard, man. Everybody's already in the building. Welcome to the show tonight. Leonardo, we see you, man. What's good? Kobe, what's good? Stu, Dennis, Vegas is in the building. What's up, everybody? Man, it's already starting. It's already piping in the chat. You got to get in here. Let somebody know we are here. Let somebody know that we're on. Let somebody know you're ready to holler. We getting into the sports world tonight, man. A lot to talk about. It's been declared, man. Sparty does suck. You're right. Even though we lost 2 weeks ago, it was nice to watch them lose again this past weekend. But we'll keep on going about that. We got a great show ahead of you. Yes, man. Stu, the media has turned on the bad man. They have, but don't worry. He'll get them back. They just need something to talk about, but we'll get into that as well. What's up, DC, out in Vegas, man? Appreciate everybody joining us. Big show ahead tonight. A lot to talk about, man. A lot has happened. We're gonna open the show with a little trivia. Y'all know the game. I guess it's like trying to beat Joel trivia or something, because it's like I gotta get my answer before you get yours. So we'll pop off with that, man. Of course, we got what to mean. Some good things to talk about. Biggest news stories recently. OBJ. He's out of Cleveland as of, I think, 4 o'clock this afternoon. We'll talk about it. I have my opinion. Aaron Rodgers.
My opinion.
Vaccine backlash. Yeah, big story. Of course it is, because it's Aaron Rodgers, and that's what they need is big story. I don't know. We'll have our opinion on that. A lot has happened also. A lot has happened over the last couple of weeks in college football. A lot to talk about in the sports world. And, of course, we have our top 5, man. Week 9, I believe this is wrapping up tonight. Chicago and Pittsburgh. And this was another interesting weekend. Another weird stuff happened this weekend. Like the Buffalo Bills got beat by the Jacksonville Jaguars 9-6.
Week.
And a quarterback with the same name got sacked by a linebacker with the same name. When does that happen? But you'll get our top 5, and I think our top 5 might be a little controversial tonight. Especially mine, I think it will be, because I know the number one question, but I'm already prepared for it. I have my rebuttal ready to discuss. So we're going to get into it, man. let everybody know you guys are in on the show tonight, man. Share it on Facebook, share it on YouTube, share the link with a buddy of yours. Let them know. Jump in right now. Join us for the next hour or so as we talk some sports tonight here on the Academy Sports Show. We are live, baby.
We are live. Let me pull up the window, and we in here. Once again, appreciate everybody in the live chat, in the feed. Thank you so much. And now, a segment that was introduced last week. The gentleman above me right now is 1-0. I gotta fix 1-0. It is trivia. Now, how trivia works, man? It is you, the people, as Bane would say, and we give it back to you, the people.
That was pretty good.
It is the people versus Joel trivia night. How this works is I issued the question. If you answer the question as the people, if you answer the question correctly before Joel does, you get the point. But if he answers before you guys correctly, he gets the point. If he is wrong, you get the point. Y'all got all the
wait, they get points for me or being wrong too?
You can't be wrong. You can't be wrong for the trivia.
I feel like if I'm wrong and nobody gets it, then nobody should get points though.
If you're wrong, then they would win. That's I don't understand the logic. Right. You're wrong.
I feel like somebody in the chat has to still answer correctly.
But I feel like you would just say something just to be wrong, just so they wouldn't get a point.
So I feel like your rules are geared towards your lack of trust in how I would play the game.
I feel like that's a major loophole. I feel like the loophole would be running out of time. Somebody's going to say something real quick. Kevin Garnett. And just be wrong just so they wouldn't have a point.
Okay.
That's a major loophole.
Gotcha.
So everybody get your Googles ready.
You can't Google. No Google's allowed. Because I can't Google. See, even Stu said, if he's wrong and we're wrong, nobody gets a point.
Nobody gets a point.
0-1 to Joel for sidetracking us. All right.
And you better be right. If you put the wrong answer in the chat, that's the answer.
They can Google.
Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy to ruin it for everybody.
Hey, listen, I trust y'all that you're not Googling, and neither am I. Hands, here are my hands. No keyboards allowed.
Just answer it fast. Are we ready, sir?
All right, I'm ready.
All right, we did NFL last week. This week is NBA.
NBA, gotcha.
NBA this week. Your question. Let me find it. All right, here it is. Think about every word that I'm saying and who this could possibly be.
Every word that I'm saying, jeez.
Well, yeah, you want to hear every word that I'm saying.
Okay.
All right.
And I'm trying to name who this person is? Is that what
Naming who this person is.
Okay.
Who is the first player to be drafted number 1 without playing college or high school basketball in the United States?
Ooh. First player to be drafted number 1 without playing college or high school basketball in the United States. Andrew Wiggins. No.
So AP commented for the group. Moses. He is wrong.
Without playing high school or number 1. Okay, it's what's that guy's name? It's my man Anthony. Man, he got drafted number 1 by the Cavs. Anthony. Dude, what's that kid's name? I'm going with the number 1 draft pick by the Cavs. His first name's Anthony.
Anthony Bennett.
Who I'm talking about. That's my answer.
You're wrong. The correct answer is Yao Ming.
Oh, Stu got it.
Stu got it.
Oh,
The
man.
correct answer is Yao Ming, who is the first player to be drafted number 1 without playing college or high school basketball in the U.S. He was the first.
Man, are you kidding me? So all these questions are actually from my time, enough for me to.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be a jerk
You're not
about
taking
it.
me back. Okay. All right. I appreciate it. All right, I lost. Bellamy 1-1.
1-1. But is
Congratulations
it
to the.
really 1-1? Because AP got it wrong for the group.
Well, I don't. I think that's what I was thinking about Anthony Bennett. Thank you, Dennis.
Yeah,
Because I thought isn't he Canadian? But he probably
he is. Yeah,
But
so
I
he
know
was probably second or third.
I think the group could help. You just get one answer per. But if they get it
Okay.
right before I do, I think we're good. I like that.
Okay, so it
Yeah.
just don't matter.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like he
so
can't get four
you're
answers.
obviously not watching the chat then.
Yeah, he tried to give like 4 answers, I think. He gave like Moses, and then he said Jenkins, and he's going too far.
All right, so throw it up. Let's let the crowd see what our chat looked like as we were going through trivia.
Oh yeah, here we go. Let's see. So there was that first answer thrown out there, right?
Yep.
This is not our answer, Kobe. Kobe played at Lower Merion.
Definitely played high school basketball in the United States.
There's Yao. So there's Stu with the right answer.
My bad.
Nick came with KG.
US.
Yep.
That's why I said listen to every word.
Yeah.
Listen to every word.
The Wizards big man. I'm not sure who that is.
Who's the Wizards big man?
I was trying to think of Anthony Bennett. That was the guy I was trying to, because I know he's Canadian. So,
Yep.
All right. So Stu got it. Stu got it right. Everybody's kind of proud of this. It's 1-1. See you next week. All right. See you next week. Don't get me hype on this thing. Start getting competitive. It's 1-1. All right.
It is 1-1.
What do we? What's the goal? We need to set a target score, probably.
First to 10.
First to 10.
First to 10.
All right. It's 1-1.
Then it resets. It is 1-1 trivia night. Y'all showed up. I appreciate y'all showing up. Make sure you trigger that bell. Make sure you get that notification every time we go live, because it is the first segment of the day. Thank you. And if you guys know us personally, or our tags will be up later on today, make sure you shoot us a trivia question. If that's
Shoot it to me. Shoot it to Dre.
Shoot it to me, and we'll and make sure you don't comment after you shoot it, because you know the answer, whoever sent the question. But I like it. 1-1.
1-1.
One for the crowd.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You got me on that one because I forgot Yao Ming was even a number 1 pick. Was Yao Ming really a number 1 pick?
Number 1 overall. Number 1 overall.
Stu said I gotta make sure I'm here next week so I can win.
There you go. There you go. Everybody likes something competitive. All right, what the meme? So this was posted on the NFL's Twitter earlier this week. Name your all-time starting offense. Man, if you saw this Twitter feed the other day, everybody had different answers because everybody's from a different era. Everybody has different favorite players. This isn't, if you want to go the GOATs in every category, you can go to GOATs in every category. But if you want to go with your heart, who you want on your all-time starting offense, there is no wrong answer here. So name your all-time starting offense. Go ahead and write them in the chats. Kwame Brown. Go ahead and write them in the chat. I did mine. So, and I know this is the first time you've seen it, so I'll give you a minute. So I did mine. You can imagine who my quarterback is.
I know who your wide receivers are.
Do you? Guess
Well,
mine. Okay, I got it written down. Guess mine. Guess my all-time starting offense.
Well, I know your running back is LaDainian Tomlinson.
Okay.
Your wide receiver is Randy Moss. Your quarterback's Tom Brady. Your wide receiver is Randy Moss and Terrell Owens. And your tight end is Gronk.
Got 4 out of the 5.
I missed on running back, didn't I?
You missed on the other receiver.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Who's your other receiver? It's Moss and who? Oh, Homer. Homer. Hey, like you said, go with your heart there,
Go
buddy.
on my heart. So I went Brady, I went LT, I went Moss, I went Megatron, and I went Gronk. That's my all-time starting offense.
Perry named his QB John Elway.
That's all that matters.
Broncos, bro. I hated John Elway, bro, with a passion. And I grew up in Cleveland in the 80s, and you either hate that guy or love him. And the only reason you loved him because you were a Broncos fan. All right, well, we got Pringle, Brady, Barry, Rice, Megatron, Gronk. Ooh, nice. No wrong answers here.
No wrong answers.
Stu, Bradshaw, okay. 4-time Super Bowl winner. Sanders, Moss, Moore. Ooh, that's Homer. Antonio Gates, nice. Got a Herman Moore sighting, ladies.
Herman Moore sighting.
Terry Bradshaw sighting, actually.
I used to work with Herman Moore. He's a nice guy.
What we got here? Brady, Barry, Megatron, Rice, and Gronk. So Gronk getting a lot of love, bro.
Gronk getting a lot of love. Gronk getting a lot of love.
Barry's getting a lot of love. You Detroiters or something else. Perry came through. Barry on that RB2. Woo. Rice, Marvin Harrison. Okay. Shannon Sharp, Broncos love. He got 2 Broncos on that squad.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No Moss love. All right, that's cool. I'm with it.
I'm actually really surprised by that. So how about I give mine, and I'll go ahead and give you that Moss love you're looking for.
Okay, all right.
My quarterback would be Montana. Running back is my homer pick, and it's Jim Brown.
Yeah.
I just feel like I just had to go.
Even though you never watched him live.
I've never watched him live. That is a fact. I've only seen.
Was he retired by the time you was aware what football was?
He was dead. He was like dang near 70 years old. I'm not that old.
He was dead.
I almost said that. Dre, I'm not that old. He was black and white film, bro. I didn't start watching football till the 80s. This man had been out of the game.
Bad, dog. My bad. That's my bad. That's my bad.
By the time I realized, was he retired? Yes, he'd been out of the game for 30 years already.
That's my bad.
But that's my homer pick, though.
Okay.
At wide receiver, I'm gonna go Moss and Rice. So I'm surprised there's no Moss love there.
So you goat it out. You going straight. You going all the goats.
Yeah, I'm going Moss and Rice, and then tight end. For me, the tight end spot, like you asked, we talk about tight end week. It's Gonzalez for me.
Dope.
Okay, Leonardo. Montana, Earl Campbell. There we go. Megatron, Rice, and Gronk. Yeah, Megatron's getting a lot of love. You guys are, wow, that's some great receivers, man. Megatron over those great receivers. That's interesting. No wrong answers, though.
Megatron should still be playing right now.
That's true.
He would have eclipsed a lot of records. He would have had a lot of great highlights, and he has some great highlights in his short career.
Right.
Just imagine him playing with a better franchise. He would have been killing.
Yeah.
Okay. True. Yeah, like I said, no wrong answers here. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, this was a trending topic for a while. It was so many different answers. Everybody had a different answer. All the NFL players were commenting too, so it was really good meme that they put out to see all the different answers.
That's dope.
No Moss over those two. Who are your two? Megatron and Rice. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we'll stay with no wrong answers here.
No wrong answers.
We're not going to create a debate off of this meme, but I will say that there's a big we could have a great debate about Megatron over Moss, over Marvin Harris. I mean, there are some wide receivers that played this game.
That sounds like a start bench cut to me.
Yeah, we can have a good debate there. But I agree, he didn't have to resign. But at the same time, he kind of did, man, because it's not really nice playing in this city or this organization. Apparently,
There it goes.
sorry, I'm just saying.
There it is.
You
Had
guys
to
tend
come.
to always lose the top guy because nothing else is going to happen. But
Yeah.
Darren said, Jerry Rice, greatest receiver ever. Check the records, stats.
Why is Gronk the best tight end ever? Because he had one of the greatest quarterbacks ever, if not the greatest quarterback ever, right? Some people can take that away from him. Some people can add that to his legacy. Jerry Rice played with the greatest quarterback ever in most people's concerns, right? Where receivers weren't as dominant as him, right? In an offense that nobody else ran in his era, correct? So somebody could say that he benefited from that. Some people can say he could. That's my Jerry Rice. I take Moss 100 days out of 100. Yeah, but there's no wrong answers here.
I took Moss and Rice. I just want to point that out.
no wrong answers here. We're going in a different place.
It's really the Megatron question that keeps stop throwing out there. But okay, moving on. Next meme.
Moving on. Rank these players.
Okay. Oh, I missed the lunch table talk last week, AP. I'm sorry. I was JoJo had workout and I forgot that they were just scheduled at the same time. We were supposed to have a mellow debate.
Ooh.
It's
the mellow Lillard debate.
Yeah, Lillard's the mellow 2.0 debate.
I actually agree with it. I do. There's a lot of similarities there. It seems like it's a diss, but it's not. To me,
he buried me while I wasn't there. So apparently, is that how you heard the debate? Because on that site you watched that.
I didn't see you. I watched the week prior when they were waiting for you to come and you never showed up.
Oh yeah, no, the week before that was where I was there, and that's how it started. I was supposed to show up again, and I couldn't make it.
Gotcha. Yeah, he was saying it, and I was like, I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, so he just had control of the mic at that time. he was able to sway the people without my opposing argument.
All right, well, I'll wait for the debate there.
All right, so rank these players.
Rank these players. Now, I would say,
is this now?
Would I say careers? I think now would be easier to rank them now as players, don't you think?
Yes.
What do you think career would be? I don't know. Which one would be harder?
It might actually be the same. Answer might be the same either.
Okay, go ahead. You take it.
I'll go with now, and then let me see if I would change my mind if we went later. So now my ranking would be,
because to me, Harden got nerfed this year, right? With the new rules. Like, he's averaging his less he's ever averaged.
Yeah. You can't fall into people.
Yeah, he's not getting the hook calls. Him hooking people and then going up for a shot. He's not getting those calls anymore. So I feel like he's been super nerfed.
I'm just gonna go by. Let's go by. It's hard either way.
By career.
Let's rank up to the point of where the rule change influences, right? So leading up to the year, I'm probably going CP, Harden, Westbrook, Melo, like right now.
Okay.
If I was going career, I would probably go.
I hear Seafish yelling somewhere.
If I was going career, I would probably go. I'd probably go I would go CP Harden. Oh, I would go the same. Yeah, career too. I'll go CP Harden, Melo, Westbrook. Westbrook's gonna get I think Westbrook's get the shaft in my career wing, but we know the average triple double, right?
Correct.
Gotta ever do it. Outside of that, which I don't want to diminish that, but outside of that, that's about it for me and Russ.
Outside of that, that's about it.
So I think I'm going the same 4 either way. Same way. CP Harden.
Either way, I think Chris is first. because you've seen him elevate teams, every team that he goes to.
Yep.
Despite the injuries, which probably would have made his career even more legendary. But I feel like he's first in either stance that you look at, whatever lens you choose to look at. So, Harden and Carmelo. Harden took the Rockets to the Western Conference Finals once, I want to say, right? And lost to the Warriors.
He lost.
He had who did he have on that team? Was that the Chris Paul team? No, that was they he had nobody on that team. It was just him.
Yeah. Well, then they made it twice, then, right? Because then they lost with CP, right? Or was that the semifinals?
I think that was the semifinals.
The hamstring.
You're right.
It's always the hamstring.
It's always the hamstring. Melo took Denver to the Western Conference Finals once. They're eerily similar. Defense is skeptical. Offensive efficiency out the roof.
Harden scores more.
Harden scores more because he shoots more threes.
His teams win more too.
Melo's West run was tough though. He had a good West run. I think his all-time percentage goes down because the Knicks teams.
Yes.
Which he took a couple of those Knicks teams to the playoffs. Ooh, that's tough. I would go CP, Russ, off the strength of the triple doubles, and he's been to the finals. I would go CP, Russ, Melo, Harden.
Oh, he's been to the finals. That was young Russ, you mean?
That was young Russ.
Wow. You turned it around. Let's see what the people are saying. CP, Harden, Westbrooker, Melo. And Perry. Melo, CP, Russ, Harden.
Melo won.
CP, Harden, Melo, Russ. I think that was mine. Kobe says career is harder to rate these guys. Perry says Westbrooker is first ballot Hall of Famer, but that's all I got. He's first ballot because
That's a lot, though. That's a lot.
He's first ballot because of triple doubles, 100%. Like he did, you do something that nobody's ever done and will ever do again, and do something that for most people thought could not be done in the first place because people just didn't play that way.
Mm-hmm.
He's in definitely. But are all these guys first ballot Hall of Famers though?
Well, Russell and Harden found the code in the system, right?
Yeah.
Westbrook was a try hard. Like he's waving guys off of rebounds just so he can get the triple double and having the opposing team laugh at him because he's trying hard. And then we all know how Harden, finessed 12 free throws a game out of for a decade by manipulating fouls, and now we're seeing that they're not doing. They got a rule change just for him because he's hooking people and taking shots and going to the free throw line and they're taking them 12, 15 points away that he would have made at the free throw line. So both those guys finessed the league for a while, in my opinion. But I would go with Russ because, he broke Big O's record that nobody thought would ever be broken. And he eclipsed it by a lot. So that's why I went Russ too. And I feel like Melo done more with less on his teams than Harden has done. I don't know. That's a debatable. To me, that's more debatable. I feel like these two mirror each other a lot, like kind of Lillard. But Lillard been to the Western Conference Finals once? Has he?
That's not the debate for today. Stu said, personally, I don't care. Melo should have been a Piston and got his ring his rookie year, but somebody wanted to take Darko.
That is Joe Dumars, sir.
I got that. Who is Joe Dumars?
No, that ain't it. All right, last one. We got to start bitch cut. Got Jason Tatum, Paul George, and Devin Booker. Start, bench, cut.
I'm starting. I'm starting Booker. I'm benching Paul George, and I'm cutting Jason Tatum.
Ooh wee.
I'm cutting Jason. So Booker to me, I'm not subscribing to the next Kobe vibe, but Book last year showed me enough that it just. I mean, I guess the if is there, so maybe he doesn't deserve to start, but. I don't know. There's just something about his game last year, just the way he played, both inside out, mid range. It was just kind of stupid to me. Um, PG, man, I'm sorry, man. People love to hate on playoff P because he does have his moments, but man's game is smooth though, bro. It's really, really smooth. Like fade, everything, like three ball, everything is good. Tatum, on the other hand, this is why he's getting cut on my squad. I feel like I'm still waiting for him to blow up. I feel like he ascended to a level where it was like, hey man, you gotta respect this guy. But I'm still waiting on this man to have that moment where like he takes his team to the finals or takes his team to the ECF and it's all about him. Like he's just unstoppable. You can't guard this guy. Like I'm still waiting on that moment from him. And I don't think we've had that. Last year, no Kawhi, PG damn near won a world championship. playing with Reggie, with Bobby Schmurder and the rest of the Clippers. Right? About a week ago. So at the end of the day, I mean that's where I'm at with it, man. Book and PG. I'm riding with them two, and Tatum is getting cut. I'm still waiting on. I feel like I'm still waiting for him to ascend to like superstar status. I feel like they want to show him that love because his game is that slick. But I feel like he's also kind of walking in the idea of it. It has not yet arrived as the guy yet.
Do you think his situation is holding him back from that?
I definitely think that team has been built wrong from the beginning.
For sure.
Yeah, but
I don't.
I got to go with what I see though. I got to go like. His situation is not a penalty to the others.
Though, his game is smooth. He's got every tool. The team is just off.
Yeah, his team's weird.
The team is off. PG, we seen PG do it with Indiana, but to me, that was a lifetime ago. Like I gotta judge him now,
bro. You saw what he did last year, though. They damn near knocked the Suns out. If Chris Paul doesn't have like a Hall of Fame night in game 6 or 7 of that series, PG was balling that series. Like we don't need Kawhi. It was like PG had to be. The only thing people don't like about PG is PG from a mental or from like a vocal standpoint. He's not your atypical guy.
But the others stood up for him. And you can say the same thing about Booker because nobody was talking about this cat till Chris Paul got on this team.
True. But that's because he just needed somebody to come in and run the show. Like that's because he was being the primary guy and that's not his role. But just like to your point about Tatum, is Tatum's situation holding him back? Booker's situation allowed him to flourish. And he did just that.
I'm starting Book. I'm benching Tatum. I'm cutting Paul George.
That's because you're a PG hater. A bell to the hater. You're a PG hater.
Come on, man.
You PG hate on like I hate on the Lions. You're a PG hater.
Me? Never. I didn't create this meme just so I can cut Paul George. I would never do that.
I wouldn't have even thought you had, but now that you say that, you are pretty good with the graphics.
What they saying?
Man, that's crazy. Perry says start Booker, bench Paul, cut Tatum. Pringle said he's going PG, Booker, cut Tatum. He
Tantrum.
That's cold. Stu said bye-bye to PG. We'll see who he's starting, who he's benching. Perry agrees, says Tatum hasn't had his moment just yet. Booker coming out party was a big stage last year. Paul George carried the Clippers without Kawhi. That's the difference for me. Man, I watched PG effortlessly kill the whole Sun squad, and I believe game 4 or 5. Yes, like his series against the Suns last year was stupid. And then I think I was looking at Filet the other night, and he just went nuts on somebody the other night too, on some just crazy type stuff. He said Tatum has been thrust into a superstar role when he's not that. He's a great Bravo. Okay, that's interesting. You think that's true about the Celtics?
I feel like the Celtics are. I feel like Marcus Smart shouldn't be making $30 million a year or whatever he makes.
The Celtics are poorly built to me.
They're poorly built, awkwardly coached, and then the awkward coach went up as what?
He's a front office now.
Front office guy. So now it's even more awkward. And then you just keep rotating in point guards like something's going to change. Kyrie to Kemba, now to Schroeder. None of these guys are working. I think the Tatum Brown thing is awkward because they both play the same position. I feel like Brown is really good, but I feel like Tatum has been thrust into the superstar position there in the Celtics because you saw what he did his rookie year, going against LeBron. Yeah. And then 2 years ago, he made that leap.
His bubble ball was nice.
Huh?
Bubble ball was nice for him.
Bubble ball was nice. He made that leap a couple years ago when he went nuclear for like the second half of the season, made the All-Star team. And that was his next step up, and everybody was talking about that. But I feel like this team leaves him stagnant. There's not a lot of room to grow. I do think he is an alpha, but in the right situation. Same thing. I feel like Book is an alpha. He's just playing with Chris Paul. And Chris Paul, it knows how to facilitate a team. Chris Paul is the extension of the coach that's on the team. They had, Devin Booker playing point guard for a couple of years, not in position, like you were saying. They had him out of position. So now he can flourish in the role that, that his skill set demands. And I feel like if Tatum was in that same situation, it'll be better.
Yeah. No,
I
can see that.
Strength, I'm benching Tatum.
So, yeah, you're going off of this potential strength that if things were, then so they would be.
Yeah.
I still think you're hating on PG, but there's definitely PG hate. PG hate just like there's Ben Simmons hate. Like you have a list of like people that you have hateration for.
Oh man, it's not like we've been doing this show for like 5 years and the people I like and don't like.
Yeah, it's not like that. Yeah. What was I thinking? It's only been 6 years, but okay. What was I thinking?
Yeah, he said it too. Like Hayward, it's just they're just trying to find.
Yeah, they're weird.
They're just trying to find this nucleus of people, and it hasn't worked.
Yeah, awkward. Always been like they struggle to really make their free agents setup be right since the whole Big 3 days when it was Garnett, Allen, and Rondo and that whole crew of folks. Yeah. PG sees LeBron and that's his kryptonite. Yeah, but back when he was with Indiana gave the Cavs some work a couple years.
Never got past.
It just never got past him.
Hey, listen, when he patted Paul George on the ass at half court, he sunned him in that moment.
Yeah, that is true.
that was the ultimate sun. Like
that was Heat LeBron. Was that Six God?
I think that he was like, "Good job, little fella. Good job. You having a good game."
Perry says Smart is stealing money.
Stealing it.
Just saying.
Straight stealing money. Straight stealing money. I feel like him and whatever the old coaches, I feel like they best buddies. He's his guy.
Yeah. That's my pick. Celtics were supposed to have Kyrie the nutcase. That wouldn't have worked either. They didn't respect Kyrie. But Kyrie went in there trying to be the I won a championship. You should listen to me. Trying to be like the LeBron of the Celtics. Like,
respect me.
Do this. And they were like, man, we almost knocked y'all out. What you talking about?
Get out of here.
Start Booker for points. Tatum off the bench for defense.
Bye, PG. All right.
That is what the meme. If you got a meme or you got an idea for a meme, make sure you send it to me. We'll get it up here ASAP. All right, let's get to the meat of the show, man. Let's talk about your
Dun,
Browns.
dun, dun.
You got two of your teams at the top of the docket today. Before we get to our top fives, make sure you guys think about your top 5 NFL teams right now. Who you got? Top 5 is coming up in a couple slides here. But let's talk about breaking news. OBJ has been cut by the Cleveland Browns. During the trade deadline, he did not get a trade. LeBron James tweeted on his behalf to let this man go. OBJ's father proceeded to put up an 11-minute video showing all the times that Odell Beckham has not received the football as he's wide open because his quarterback, Baker Mayfield, is either incapable of throwing him the football or chooses not to throw him the football, which set off a domino effect of events that which now leaves us in the spot where Odell Beckham Jr. has been cut by the Cleveland Browns, going through waivers. Odell's people put out no team better pick him up through these waivers. He wants to be a free agent and pick his spot. What went wrong, man? Who is more at fault at this situation? And did they choose the right guy in this situation for your squad?
Let's see.
I know those are multiple questions.
Yeah, so I'll start there. Let's work. I'll work backwards. Did they choose the right guy? Yes. Odell Beckham Jr. is not the future of your franchise. So I would have gone with Baker. Plus, your other option is to go back to quarterback infamy and not know what's next. And there's not a good quarterback coming out in the draft this year. So I don't think you press the reset there. Not with the talent that you have on this roster and the veteran leadership. But I'm gonna tell you like this. I think who's more at fault. Fault's a tough word for me here. I'm gonna tell you why. The offense isn't built for Odell. It's not that. It's just not that team. This team wants to run the ball 60% of the time and throw it 40% of the time. The quarterback is not the Odell type quarterback. This quarterback is a game manager. That's what they want him to be. He's a first read guy. Odell needs time to get open at time. He's going to run your slants and stuff like that, but Odell makes big plays. Big plays are usually long plays. They usually take time to develop. But when Baker holds the ball too long, it spells trouble for the Cleveland offense. There's probably a pick coming. So we just got to be realistic. However, I also think there is definitely some heavy fault on the Odell side because I think this was a power play. I think really this was a power move. I don't think that was random that his dad did that right before the trade deadline. The word on the street is this man's been asking to be traded since the summer. So while he was trying to be a model citizen and he went down to Texas and visited with Baker and they had their camp and everything, he worked to get back. The bottom line is he's wanted out of Cleveland since the summer. And they weren't doing it for financial reasons. They couldn't. Nobody wanted to pick up that $12 million. They picked it up already. So wasn't nobody taking that 12. And now to get to this point, I think that it must have gotten to Baker's fault. Something went sour to me internally. And the out was, hey, Dad, go ahead, throw that up. I'm going to be silent. We're going to let that play. It's going to cause these ruffles. And then I'm going to be out. I'm going to say my piece and I'm going to get on.
Hey, LeBron, tell him to let me go.
Right. Call my people up, get my people to post. LeBron, come on, man. But you're supposed to be a Cleveland guy, bro. Like, don't quit throwing shade right now. We don't need you in this one. All right. Because Andrew Berry and Coach Stefanski have been very good at this. They have done a great job of building this roster. Word to the wise, Odell is not an Andrew Berry Stefanski pickup. He is a former regime pickup. Just throw that out there. So I think there's now on the field, I think there is some fault on Mayfield. Do I think Mayfield did it on purpose? No. Do I think there's probably times where he didn't make that throw? Yes. There was a couple plays I saw where I'm like, dang, that brother is open. Like, come on, where we at? Why didn't we hit Odell on that one? But he wasn't looking, or maybe he got pressured or whatever. But at the end of the day, I think there's a little more fault Odell's way, but they're both at fault. It depends on the lens you're looking at. On the field, is there a problem or is there a chance for a quarterback to always throw to that guy? Yes. Wide receivers are always opening their eyes. But he just doesn't fit this offense, man. Juice Landry fits this offense. It's nice to have him. It's nice, but they had to really force it. And I'm starting to think numbers don't lie because the numbers last year after Odell gets hurt for Baker are really good. The team wins after Odell gets hurt in Cincinnati. Really good. This year, Odell forced himself out right before the Cincinnati game. They go out and put up 41 on the Bengals, who, by the way, just 2 weeks ago were the number 1 seed in the AFC. And everybody was hot on that team. And they went out and put a beating on that squad, running the ball and throwing the ball and special teams and defense. So they did it and everything. So, hey, man, I just think Pops got involved. I'm going to stand up for my son because the narrative about OBJ is what it is. So he knows he cannot play that card because then no other team will want that mess in their locker room. So let the son do it. Let Pops do it. I'm going to dip. And Baker said, we're good friends. I'm cool with him, but we haven't talked. So if you can't call me, bro, it's because probably you had something to do with it. It's cool. We wish you the best, Odell. We wish you the best.
Yeah, his silence made him accountable.
Yep.
In that situation, because there's been a lot of people that be like, "Hey, that's how he feel. That's not how I feel." That's all that took in that moment, and for him not to say anything in that moment made him accountable for other people's actions.
Yep.
So I remember Bart Scout kept going on. I was like, why is this happening? Because his daddy did something. His daddy ain't on the team. I was like, yeah, but he was silent the whole time. He was silent, and that made him accountable.
Perry said, I truly believe number 13 didn't want to be there at all. Stu says, suspect BJ. LeBron is not a Cleveland guy. He's a LeBron guy. Great point. John Dorsey traded for him. Yep, that is a John Dorsey trade. They really think that his dad cut out those plays. No, OBJ did this and said his dad did it. Yeah, well, OBJ might have actually made it, but he just DM'd it over to his dad and said, hey, post this.
So it was actually a YouTube video.
Okay.
So they just copied and pasted a YouTube video. That was already on the internet. So, OBJ has his fans.
So it's like it's almost a clear like throw the rock, hide your hand move. Let's just go get this video. Let's stir up trouble. Let's just get me out. I think the front office made the right move to pull him out of practice. Have the conversations. What is it? How can we figure this out? What works for both of us?
Yeah,
because I'm not.
I felt like it was a weight lifted off because they balled.
Yes. Weight lifted.
I feel like a weight lifted off the team, weight lifted off the franchise, out the locker room, and they balled. Baker. Now, here's my thing: if you got a guy, you go to your guy. Like DeAndre Hopkins, Kyler Murray goes to him every time he can throw him the ball. Aaron Rodgers goes to Devontae Adams every time he can throw him the ball. Now, if you got a guy that you like and you have chemistry with, you throw him the ball. Obviously, they didn't have that chemistry or trust between these two guys. So, like you said at the very beginning, who's the future of your franchise? Baker is the guy they're going to make the future of their franchise. So you cut Beckham, you eat the money, and hopefully the weight comes out and it showed it during that Bengals game. Because I feel like that same touchdown Donovan Peoples-Jones got, that could have been Odell Beckham. It's just Baker and him just weren't on the same page.
Right.
So I said it a couple times in the past. They had a mutual best friend and they didn't click. Juice was trying to get Baker to like Odell and Odell to like Baker, and it just didn't work out.
Just didn't work out. Dang. It's unfortunate.
So
wish you the best.
I got two teams in mind for Odell.
Oh God, please don't say that. Oh, there's one I hope he doesn't end up on.
So it's two sleeper teams. A lot of people say, the Rams or Tampa or Green Bay. I got sleeper teams. My first sleeper team is the Chargers. Justin Herbert, they throw that thing, they slang that thing. They go vertical. They don't have a dominant number one receiver. Mike Williams is not a dominant number one receiver. Keenan Allen's on the downswing of his career. I feel like he'll get a lot of balls there. Win the championship, maybe not. Pad your stats. That might be a great place to go.
Was he come in and take Michael Williams' spot?
Yeah, I mean. And then 2 will be Baltimore.
Oh, God.
I feel like if he goes to Baltimore, what other way to get revenge on the Browns 2 times a year? Go to Cleveland and ball out as a Raven. And how did he make his name in New York? Slant and go, baby. Take that 5-yard slant and go up the field. I feel like Lamar can do that. Lamar can fit that ball in that window, and he can go make a play. And their number one receiver is Hollywood Brown. They don't really got a lot of receivers over there. So those are my 2 sleeper teams that I think maybe either, like, if you worry about stats, bro, go get as many balls as Justin Herbert can throw you. You still in LA. You lived a good life, movies, red carpets, all that good stuff. You can get 100 yards and 12 balls over there a game. Easy. Or you go to Baltimore, try to compete for a championship. You're not going to have a lot. You're not going to have 12 catches, but you got a chance to win a lot of football games. And you get to tell Cleveland to kiss my butt every 2 times a year.
Yeah, so I like the Chargers idea. I also like the Raiders as the other team.
I don't like Derek Carr like that
because it's
just
Derek Carr? It's just wide open there. It's just so wide open that they are thirsty for a number one because you got Ruggs gone and they already didn't have a number one. So it's just there's an opportunity there, I think, in the AFC West for both of those teams. I don't know that enough happened in Cleveland for him to have animosity like that. Like, oh, let me go to the Ravens and get these guys back. Now, do I want to see that? I would tell you part of that bothers me. Yes, it makes them better. Anything that makes the Ravens better is scary for my Browns. But at the same time, like, I'm not in love with the Ravens passing game. I don't think they're a wide receiver away from having a prolific passing game. It still boils down to the man at quarterback, who, by the way, won a game yesterday from the pocket. I'll give him the man his credit. Lamar won a game yesterday, beating the Vikings. But again, they don't hold leads well. They have to get out in front on you. So I don't know. I don't see Odell as that super threat, even if he were to go to the Ravens. I think he does have to go somewhere where quantity is over quality. Like, I think he has to go somewhere where he's going to get a lot of throws. And so you make a good point. Going somewhere like the Chargers, definitely going to get a lot of balls. I think if he goes to the Packers, I don't know if I'm excited about that. I feel like maybe Aaron Rodgers could kind of rein him in some, but I think Aaron Rodgers will get him the dang on football. I think that would be a sick combination to have him on the other side because you could try to bracket Devontae and they still can't stop that.
Yeah.
So the way they move him around, I think that helps him.
I don't like the Packers because Aaron locks in on Devontae a lot. So if you feel slighted now, imagine feeling slighted when you get there. You know what I'm saying?
But do you think he locks in on him though because there isn't really anybody else to lock in on?
I mean, that's true. I mean, he still gets him the ball a lot. So you're taking away targets from Devontae. Does that make them better? I don't know.
Yeah.
Kansas City is another team people are talking about. But does that fix the Patrick Mahomes problem that he's having right now?
They got problems. That's not a receiver problem either, which I'm surprised to say. We're talking about the former NFL MVP here, but that's a Patrick Mahomes problem. It's almost like he's got the yips. Like, what is going on there? A lot of people say the Rams. Leonardo just pointed out the Rams. I just don't want to see the rich get richer. My goodness.
I feel like that's another – you talked about system, right? I feel like that's a system. The leading receiver right now is Cooper Kupp. He's not a prolific receiver. He just fits in that system. You don't want to remove Cooper Kupp out of that system.
No.
You don't want to supplant him and put in Odell Beckham Jr. So now you're asking Odell to play second to Cooper Kupp. You're removing Woods out and you're giving those routes to Odell.
Yeah.
I don't know how that fits.
Yeah,
That
at the
is
end of the
risk
day,
you
it
live
goes
in.
down to him going somewhere probably where he is number one, right?
Right.
So I think the two teams you name make sense. While I don't want to see my division rival get stronger, I don't think that makes them invincible. But at the end of the day, I don't know that there's that much animosity that you would be leaving to let me go stab those guys twice a year. And to be honest with you guys, hey, he's got to really prove that he's that guy.
Yeah.
We really haven't seen him.
He's got half a year to gain his money.
Yeah.
Right. So you're not signing a long-term deal with somebody. You're gonna finish out the year with somebody. So maybe, like I said, maybe Vegas, that might be a good fit. 3 months in Vegas, Derek Carr force feed you the ball, you and Darren Waller, and y'all try to go win y'all
Y'all
division.
try to win you a championship out west.
Yep.
Because you're not going to get a Super Bowl, but you at least try to get you a division crown because everybody in that division is like 5 and something. Joey, just don't talk about Lamar at all. Just saying, bro. I'm just pointing out.
All right. So I feel like next week we'll have an answer. So tune in next week.
We will. He's on waivers as of today. So
Yep.
if he clears waivers, which like you said, you pointed out, he basically said, nobody pick me up because if you do, I'm just going to cause hell. Which
that is not a good sign.
To me, like this screams like, do I really want this guy? Like, I think it would be a slap in this dude's face, or it'd be some karma or some juju if nobody picked him up. But this is the NFL, so it's a retread league. But it'd be interesting if nobody talked free agency with him, or nobody wanted to pay him the money that.
Well, you get paid regardless, right? So they cut you.
No, he doesn't. They're out.
So they eat that salary though, or the salary cap hit for them. But I don't know.
Yeah, they don't have to eat the salary,
especially if you go to a team like the Rams who ain't got no money. You're playing for a veteran minimum, or you're playing for a couple $1 million for a couple months. I feel like money really isn't an object here at this point.
Well, we shall see. We will have our answer next week. We will know where he lands.
All right. Your other guy. Before we get to our top 5, make sure you think about your top 5 teams. Put them in the chat. Your other guy, this ain't got to be a long conversation. He did not play last week due to contracting the COVID-19 virus. His status of being unvaccinated hindered him from returning quickly. So he had to go through the protocols of 10 days and multiple tests. If he was vaccinated, it would just take 2 negative tests in a 48-hour period, I believe. So you take a test, take a day, take another test. So that was revealed why he didn't come right back. So he was unvaccinated. So then they rewound the tapes because everybody thought he was vaccinated. The tapes showed that he was asked a direct question, "Are you vaccinated?" He said yes. And then he followed that up quickly with, "I'm immunized." And that made everybody believe that he was vaccinated. And then he quickly said after that, but the people who chose to be unvaccinated, we shouldn't give those people a hard time, saying those people as if he's not those people. So he clearly tainted a line of truth there. He said previously on the Pat McAfee show that he did not lie. He did not outright say that he was vaccinated, but he definitely murkied the waters of whether we thought he was vaccinated or not. And then now the league is looking at it because he chose to act as if he was unvaccinated in situations where he didn't wear a mask on the sidelines or during, post-game situations and things like that. So trying to see if he violated any of the COVID-19 protocols this season. He was not available for his team against a big matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs, which they end up losing. His availability is up in the air for next week's game. So this whole Aaron Rodgers thing, how have you unpacked it? And do you think he should be penalized, or the Green Bay Packers should be penalized for whatever this saga is right
now? So rules are rules. So it's like, I guess he should be penalized because they have rules. He didn't follow them. let's just call it what it is. It is are you or aren't you? And then if you are, these are the rules. If you aren't, these are the rules. He is by rule not. So he should have followed rules. Clearly, what happened here is he got immunized in a different way because he is allergic to ingredients in two of the three vaccines, the Pfizer and the Moderna, and the Johnson and Johnson just did not have good reviews, so he was not interested in taking the Johnson and Johnson just because the side effects to that were not up his alley. As a person, as a human being, he has every right to make the choice. He is in a league that has collectively bargained the rules, so the association that represents him, and therefore there are rules. He didn't follow them, so the penalty should be a fine of some sort if there's going to be one, because those are the rules. There should not be a draft pick issue. There should not be all this other stuff that they're talking about. If there's a fine, there's a fine. Has to cash it out, whatever. Um, but outside of that, um, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, yeah, did they go sleight of hand here? I think they did, definitely. Perry just brought up. He said, "Yeah, I'm immunized. Number 12 should be ashamed of himself. Stand up for what you believe." Yeah, to be honest with you, the way he explained himself after the fact, I feel like he could have explained himself that way in the first place and just said what it was. It was a very intelligent answer, and it's a very justifiable answer. So the bottom line is, these are your rules. These are the rules that your group collectively bargained. You didn't follow them. You should be penalized. I don't think it's to the extent of all the other things. And if this quarterback was some random podunk from Mississippi, we wouldn't be having this conversation as big as it is. But of course, we have to, because it's Aaron, and so it's a big story. But whatever the dollar amount is, slap the fine. And I hope he's back. I guess the first time he can return is Saturday, which I think they play Saturday. I think next week is when the Saturday games start. So there we go.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think that. See, so 12 needs to take all the penalties. The team thought he was clearly vaccinated. I don't think the team.
I don't think the team knew he was unvaccinated.
Yeah, the team knew he was unvaccinated. They knew he was immunized.
Yeah.
He did an all natural vaccination. The team knows that he petitioned the league for it, and then when the league, he said it. He said one of the doctors came out and said, if you get vaccinated, there's no way you can get COVID-19. Then he was like, I knew it was going to get rejected, and it did. And then the doctor came into the camp and had a talk, and he was challenging that doctor on some stuff, and players thanked him for it. That locker room knew where this man was, but he wears number 12 and he wins football games. So they knew what it was about. It just happened the way it happened.
Now, if anybody, the only penalty that should come down is on the Packers because they allowed him to move as if he was unvaccinated. Nobody checked him.
So you don't think he should be penalized?
I don't think he should be penalized because your team allowed you to move in that way. You know what I'm saying? They're scared of him.
Yeah.
In all honesty, the Packers are scared of him. So, like, they're not gonna be like, "Hey, Aaron, you can't do that." Okay, like we know you're unvaccinated. You can't do. Like he moved in a way that he wanted to because he felt safe because what he put in his body. This is not the show where we go vax versus unvax.
Right.
Not in that spectrum at all.
Nope, not at all.
But as you said, the rules are the rules, and he violated the rules. Possibly, I don't know. I don't have the whole book here, but from what people are saying, the way he moved as if he was unvaccinated.
Right.
So that comes down to the team to me, because if the team should have said, "Hey, you can't do that." Like we had issues with our team, right? If you allowed your players to move in a way with the information that you had, then the organization gets penalized, right?
Right.
The team gets penalized. So if they allowed him to move in that way, I feel like it should be a team penalized thing. So he was very misleading. If they want to say he lied, he lied. He was shady. Nobody's saying that what he did was without moral of leading people on in such a way to where they thought he was vaccinated. But you don't get penalized. You don't get fined for lying. That's
true.
just not how it goes. If he
That's
broke
very true.
rules and the team allowed him to break rules, then the team should be penalized. But for him to lie, for him to scuff the truth, just so he won't have to keep asking questions about his vaccination status, because he felt like he would have had to do that over and over again. So he said he was immunized, and everybody took that for what it was. I don't think that's penalty worthy. I don't think that's, you know what I'm saying? I don't think you
he used his word. He chose his words carefully.
He chose his words very carefully.
He never really lied.
Is it shady as hell? Yeah, it is. It is shady as hell. But I don't think it's enough for him to get penalized.
Yeah, that's fair. That's actually a good perspective. I didn't even think about that. Like, it's a good argument against him not being penalized because he didn't really lie. He just answered the question according to the smart and intelligent way that he does things. But I also think this story is way overblown. Again, just my opinion, and I'm not trying to cause this to be a vax or unvax conversation. And did he put people in danger and all those things? Because he made one good point that I thought was interesting. He said, whenever I was around my teammates, I told them that I just got tested this morning. I'm negative. And I was aware that the people I was around were vaccinated. I mean, if we're not playing football, part of the concept here, I've always thought this through this whole thing. If I'm walking around being tested negative, I know I don't have it.
And the people around me are being tested and they're negative.
Yeah, like, what are we doing? So, again, we're not here to have that debate, but at the end of the day, I think this is being blown a little bit out of proportion because it's Aaron Rodgers. And it won't be a story after he comes back and they win another 3 or 4 games. Like, I think we'll be done moved on from it. But you've swayed me. I'm with you on that. Yeah, he doesn't need to get penalized.
Yeah, I don't expect him to get a fine or a suspension or nothing because the team allowed him to move in that way, and they knew, Stu. They knew what he said.
The team knows what he said.
The
guy in charge of communications and press is there with you, going 2 more questions. He heard the answer. He went back and told the front office, like, "Hey, here's what was said today."
Yep.
They know.
They know.
They knew.
They know. And as a grown man, he went to a Halloween party, unmasked, caught COVID, came back to the facility, tested positive, and now he has to answer the questions.
Yeah.
All he had to do in the very first thing was just man up and just take whatever came with being unvaccinated. As unfortunate or unfair as some might say it is, that's your job. You get paid hundreds of millions of dollars to have a press conference, and it sucks. I understand to tell people your medical history in this day and age, but it's a question that he was asked. He could have deflected and said, "I'm not talking about it." Kind of like, I think
a bunch of people done until they got
COVID. Kirk Cousins, he's not vaccinated.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about it. This is my business, my body, whatever. You know what I'm saying? He could have went a whole nother route instead of being shady. So that's the only thing he's accountable for, is his shady vernacular trying to get out of the situation.
Was it shady or was it accurate?
It was shady to me. To me, it's to make people think one thing when it's not nowhere near true. I think that's shady.
Gotcha.
Are you vaccinated? Yes, I'm immunized. But I don't feel. But you shouldn't make those people who are unvaccinated feel bad. Who are those people? That's you. Barry just said it, man. Stand up and say what you believe. If that's what you believe, just say it. You know, that's who you are. You know. Hey, listen, I'm the Kyrie thing. Stephen A. and Jay Williams had like a 2-segment long thing on First Take, and it was great because Jay Williams came there with hate in his heart.
Yeah.
He was like, why aren't you going at Aaron Rodgers with the same nasty vitriol stuff you went at Kyrie? Why ain't you doing that to him? Like he wanted blood that day. And Stephen A. shut his ass down. And it was beautiful. And I'm not a Stephen A. stan, but it was like he was like, you watched the same IG live as I did. He didn't say he didn't say nothing.
Right.
And then one way or another, if it wasn't COVID, this man would have found a reason not to do his job.
Not to do his job. Yep. That's my issue with Kyrie Irving, too.
My issue with Kyrie Irving. It ain't got nothing to do with vaccinated or unvaccinated. He would have found a way not to come to work. He said there was a siege on Capitol Hill. I went to work the next day. You went to work the next day. But Kyrie chose not to go to work.
Yep.
Hey,
that man wants to represent the people. He wants to force his way into the value of the people. He wants to be Muhammad Ali of his generation.
For sure.
And not be drafted to the war.
Don't nobody care if you don't want to get the vaccine, that's fine. That's a whole different stand of people that want to feel some way about you or not. But your accountability to your teammates is one thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't show up to work when you don't want to show up to work. And to him, this was a reason for you not to show up. Because you have nothing to stand on. On your IG Live, you said you have nothing against the vaccine. You would get the vaccine, but I'm doing this I'm the voice of the voiceless. I'm doing this for the people. Negro, what? What are you talking about? So, and all Aaron Rodgers had to say is, I don't want to get it. That's it. You Aaron Rodgers. The team would have stood by you, and all you had to say was, I don't want to get it, and that's it. But you wanted to be shady. That's all I was saying.
Kai should never be mentioned with Cassius Clay ever. They're not. Believe me, they're not in the same book at all.
Yeah, man.
That's what he aspires to be.
Dude's crazy. All right, here we go. Top 5. Here's your top 5, sir. Last week you had Green Bay 1, Dallas 2, the Rams at 3, Cardinals at 4, and the Titans at 5.
New top 5 this week. Here comes the controversy. Dallas gets popped by the Broncos because they were at 2. That dropped them to 5 for me. Didn't fall out. Looking at all the teams that were pretty much under them, they all lost. So to me, Dallas being ranked up way at 2 last week, they don't fall out. There wasn't another team to me that came into the 5 out of the next 5. So I got Dallas sitting at 5. Baltimore, big win. Minnesota at home. Big win for Baltimore. Double overtime, I believe. This is a game that I needed Kirk Cousins to ball out in on my for fantasy purposes, and I appreciate him holding it down because it was definitely a situation where I thought that they could lose again, and I would have some great Lamar Jackson talk, but I was unable to have that. But Ravens slide back up into the top 5 at number 4 with a big win. They've gotten a couple big wins here. Next up, number 3, Tennessee. Tennessee owns the best record in the AFC.
What a new.
Tennessee owns the best record in the AFC.
He said it out loud, Perry.
There you go. All right. The Jets popped their asses. And then since then, they got some act right in them. And they have run off 2 impressive wins. Now, I am going to question them because I want to know, is it sustainable? I want to know, is it sustainable? Defensively, they're playing lights out right now. They've always been a team that'll punch you in the mouth. So they've never been a team that lacks toughness. They play very hard. But is this sustainable without the number one running back in the league? Derrick Henry's out for the year. Are you really going to win with Adrian Peterson? Really? I don't know about that. But we'll see. So is this sustainable? Is this team capable of being carried by Tannehill? Okay. Is it? So he just said, Joey, I questioned the Titans, but I wanted to prove you wrong about them. But I haven't been proven wrong. The Titans are just hot right now.
Oh.
I haven't been proven wrong yet. The season is not over.
Sir.
Will they finish where we believe they will finish?
Sir, you are not allowed to say that because you went on a tangent in the beginning of the season when they was losing games. Y'all was talking about the Titans. Look where the Titans at right now. You gotta eat a little. You gotta eat a little bit.
I'll eat
You
a
didn't
little
say.
bit,
You didn't
then
say
I
wait
get
to see then.
So when the season ends, if they're back where they were, then I get to go back on another tangent, right?
Most definitely.
All right, I'll have a little bit of crow then right now. I have a little bit of crow. Perry's working me for this. He's really working me for this. I'll have a little crow tonight then. Okay, there you go. I have him in my top 5. What more do you want from me? This is my representation of crow eating. I'm giving respect where respect is due this week. Okay, they're back. They're back in my top 5. They better keep winning because they're gonna fall fast. Sitting at number 2, I got the Arizona Cardinals. We have the best record in football right now at 8-1. They go out and get another dub this week.
McCoy.
49ers team with their backup quarterback and without their number one receiver.
Macked them too.
Yeah, they didn't just barely win. They put the hurting on them. And I am going to go de facto number 1. Controversial maybe, but I'm holding them at the number 1 spot. I'm altering the rules here, people. Typically when number 1 loses, you drop them. I didn't drop them this week. The reason I didn't drop him is because Kansas City only won that damn game 13-7. So the bottom line is, had Aaron Rodgers been playing, Green Bay would have won that game 31-13. So I'm going to keep the Green Bay Packers without any proof that they are still not number 1. I'm going to keep them at number 1 this week. Okay. I bring it. I welcome it. Because you know I'm right. The Kansas City Chiefs are broken. They only beat Jordan Love and the Aaron Rodgers Green Bay Packers 13-7. Aaron Rodgers plays that game, they win. I'm keeping them at number 1. You cannot lose your spot because of injury.
Nothing here, sir.
No argument?
No argument whatsoever. You can keep your team de facto number 1 because you know why? Because I kept mine.
Now that's big right there, sir.
Kept mine.
Ooh. Explain yourself.
I kept my de facto number 1. Listen, everybody lost this week. Okay. Everybody had bad losses, good losses. A loss is a loss. I think right now we are in the meat of the season where you know who are the good teams. And we used to say a lot, this is not a knee-jerk reaction. We're not going to do no more knee-jerk reactions. 1 loss, you're just all the way out. I'm not doing no more knee-jerks. I'm looking at the body of work. I'm looking at the team. I'm looking at how it's structured. And that's how I'm doing my list from now on. A loss is not a huge gravity shift anymore. All right. We in week, 9, 10 now. You know who is. They are who we thought they were. So for me, LA had a horrible showing against Denver. But 9 times out of 10, I'm picking LA.
That's true.
And Denver's not going to make the playoffs, so they ain't going to see them.
The Broncos are really bad.
So they had a horrible showing. I'm still sticking with LA off strength. Now, if they have a back-to-back horrible show, listen, LA has potential to fall off my top 5 because they have a hard schedule. They're in a tough division. They're playing the Cardinals again. They got the 49ers on Sunday Night Football next week. They got the Packers the next week at the 4 o'clock game. The LA has a hard schedule coming up. This was a bad loss going into this tough road. So they have the potential to jump down, but I'm keeping them there for now. Packers, everything that you said, that's why they're number 2.
Yes, sir.
Cardinals, everything you said, that's why they're number 3.
Yes, sir.
Dallas, they dropped down, bad loss.
Bad loss.
But I still believe in them. There was a young defense. They made bad mistakes. So I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt because no other team really stepped up this. Now, the Ravens. I'm not giving it to the Ravens because they beat Minnesota after they were down 30-14. And they came back for a win. Now, I will say Lamar Jackson is playing lights out. He is definitely an MVP candidate because Ryan Clark said it on Get Up. If he sucks, they suck. He has to go nuclear for them to win games because this team is not good. So their team is not good. So I'm not putting them in my top 5 right now because they're not a good football team. Lamar Jackson is just playing great football right now. So if he keeps that going, maybe. But the strength that Tennessee has been putting together, stringing good wins together, I put Tennessee at number 5. But it was between Tennessee and the Ravens. But I feel like Tennessee edged them out as a better football team defensively. They shut it down. So I'm going with Tennessee at number 5.
I like it.
Baltimore is not in their team is trash, bro. The team is trash. Unfortunately,
Joe is rubbing off on you.
Lamar Jackson, he's probably number 1 in MVP vote for me. Stafford had a couple bad games. Last game, Arizona game. Dak had a bad game. Aaron Rodgers missed a game.
Kyler Murray missed a game. So I listen. He might be the MVP right now. I'll give you that. I'll give you Lamar Jackson might be the MVP right now. Derrick Henry's out. He might be the MVP right now. But I can't make them a top 5 team right now. I have no argument here, sir. Great list.
Just keeps winning. Baltimore is currently, I think, the second best team in the AFC, right?
Yes. They are 6-2.
6-2. They have debunked they can't come back because they've came back from deficits multiple times this season, i.e. the Vikings game. They were down, 30 to 14 or something like that, or 29-13. So it was something crazy, and they came back.
No, it was less than that actually, because it was because they were up 31-24 late in the game, and Minnesota scored to tie it to take it to overtime.
Gotcha. So their 2 losses is against the Bengals, bad loss, 41-17, and the first game of the season against the Raiders, 33-27, which they're not that same team. They beat the Chiefs 36-35, which the Chiefs win is not a big thing anymore. They beat the Lions, the Broncos, the Colts, the Chargers, which was a huge win at the time. So I definitely give them that. And then they beat the Vikings. So I'm not discounting their record. They have a great record. The eye test tells me their team, the way they're built, can go on the slide. But Lamar Jackson is keeping his team afloat.
It's fair. It's good stuff.
All right. So make sure you follow us, man. Like us on all the modes of social media, IG, Facebook, the YouTube. Make sure you trigger that bell. That way you get a notification every time we go live, because it may be 7, maybe 7:15, maybe 7:19. And you definitely want to be here in the building when we start that trivia, because you are the people. And right now, the people are 1-1 right now. All right. Against Joel at trivia night. That is the first subject. So make sure you tune in right when you get that notification. If you haven't already, make sure you share the stream. That helps us grow, get more voices in the chat. We appreciate everybody that was in the chat today. You are a part of the show as much as we are, so we thank you. Any other news and notes? Your Braves won. I was gonna say the Stanley Cup.
Yes, the Braves won the World Series. Good job. Congratulations to the Braves who won the World Series.
The Braves won the World Series. Canelo won.
I think that's it in the sports world, right?
Yep.
Nothing else crazy.
Nothing else crazy going on. Congratulations to Cephas Harrison III, nephew. Great football season. Hope you win Mr. Football here in the state of Michigan.
Deserves it.
Great articles, great everything. Great job, man. I'm proud of you.
For sure. All right. So if you got anything else, wow, they mentioned boxing. Hey, let's.
I knew he was gonna say something.
So if you got any other news and notes, make sure you hit us up. Follow us, man, personally at JWell2 at Dre_on_air. Follow us Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff, man. We appreciate it. Help us grow. We thank you. We appreciate you. On behalf of myself, Andre Douglas, Joe Williams.
See you next week. When we do this all over again. Monday night. Peace.
Early.